Okay, here we are again at another video from the lab. This time we're looking at progress made in CCSS Grade 6 Math Research Lab. So this first section started out as a basic ratio layout utilizing the farm system within Minecraft. Then I started to think that I should be able to use the recipes within the game as well. So when it comes to form on a map, I'm sure I'll include both aspects to provide students with area for demonstrating rate, part to part, and part to total, or part to whole as some people call it. Okay. As usual, I'm not going to read the questions to you that I've posted or the info blocks to you, but feel free to pause the video and read them at your own time. The next two standards, this one and the one next to us, are also ratio based. Okay. Here we have Aaron, and this is kind of the idea with the part to part and part to whole, or part to total. So we have 3 sand blocks to 5 total blocks, or we have 2 wood blocks to 5 total blocks. That would be part to whole or part to total. When we're talking about part to part, we have 2 wood blocks for every 3 sand blocks, or 3 sand blocks for every 2 wood blocks. Okay. Here's the question I used in here, plus the task. Moving on. Here's Jack. Hi, Jack. Here's the lake. Yes, I know. Awfully impressive, isn't it? Jack is walking back and forth from the lake to give us a visual for this question. Alright, see you later, Jack. Next we have, Mr. A. He's over here peddling his healthy snacks and unhealthy snacks. Not too good for the wellness guy to be handing out unhealthy snacks. Here's the question I used. We were working with percentages, of course. Okay, moving on. This is one way that I thought about working with the multiplying and dividing fractions, but I am open to others. I'm still kind of looking at what else I can do to make it more interactive for the students. All right. Oops, I just fell in one of my exhibits. There are limitless places to deal with division, but one way I'm thinking of doing it is with a quick build arena. So here, of course, is just a section of stands. Yeah, really nice view up here. Alright. I don't know if in previous videos you've seen my quick build arena or the one that I've modified, but I'll be using that in quite a few things. I'm actually thinking of putting the quick build arena in the center of the school so that all grade levels can use it. And nothing will be saved, of course, but it'll just get reset every time the students use it. So this would be using division to calculate how many rows of seats we would need for each student, or to seat all those students. Okay, this here's just a quick way I thought of modeling. I am open, of course, to anything else that we could probably use. Actually, this is not mixed numbers, but decimals. So yeah, interesting. Okay, GCF and LCM. This will be a much bigger campground with cabins, and I'll probably have the students help me build the campground with cabins. Then within those campgrounds, maybe we'll use decorations or landscaping, things like that, to also work with the GCF and LCM concepts. Okay. What do we have here? The opposites. So, an altitude and elevation. So, my diver will of course be doing the elevation. Here he is on the boat, or sorry, beside the boat, and he's about to start diving. What an awesome boat, yeah? Okay, now we have coordinate grids. Now, I have put out a previous video that has a coordinate grid map. I do still intend to use that map for that purpose. I will have to, of course, preface that with an explanation of a 3-dimensional grid system versus 2-dimensional. Now, 2-dimensional, we have the x and y coordinates, and we usually deal with that. Within Minecraft, we have 3 dimensions, so we have to deal with that. Traditionally, x and y is on a flat piece of paper. X goes left and right, and y goes top to bottom of the paper. Well, in the 3 dimensions, such as in Minecraft, it actually goes x and y is left and right. Up and down is the y-axis, and z is the forward and back, the depth, if you will. If you did want to do the traditional way, you could, of course, as I've done here, this is mostly showing opposites, but you could just do verticals like this. And there's nothing wrong with that. You could have the kids in creative mode. You could have them go ahead and do their graphing the way they need to by flying around. Okay. This one over here deals with absolute numbers. So what's the absolute value? If I could show you here, what's the absolute value of the redstone torch? What's the absolute value of the regular torch, the human head, or the skull, the skeleton head? I put the 0 in there so you know that it's the distance from 0. Anyway, moving on. This one is a fairly blank grid. This will be me giving the kids, you know, actually what I might do is use the quick build arena for this as well. And I'll have the kids in small groups, and they will work together to place all of the items that they possibly can. Of course, it'll be time based. Do it as quick as you possibly can. Each group will have this board, a table of items. I might put it in a chest because it's easier to pick up. And we may just do something along the lines of, in front of each table we'll have just something like this that says, you know, 5, -2. And that's where that will be expected to be placed. Anyway, that's my idea for that. Moving on, exponents. Now, I definitely sat here and stared at the screen for, well, I won't tell you how long, but I did. Trying to figure out how can I show exponents. What I came up with was using cubed volumes. So to calculate the volume of this, you would do, of course, 2 by 2 by 2. So I can then talk to the kids that 2 by 2 would give me 2 to the power of 2. 2 by 2 by 2 would give me 2 to the power of 3. And then I could use that and connect it with volume and have them calculate volume of these areas. Or we could have a total volume and have them break it down into a number with exponents. Anyway, any other ideas? Like I said, post, let me know. Moving on. Okay, this area. What we have here, writing expressions. Okay, so this is our writing expressions section. Sorry, wrong button. I'll show you here what I did. So these are items within Minecraft that I know of that can be broken down into different numbered other items. Okay, so melons can be broken down into slices of melon. Pumpkins get broken down into seeds. Clay brick gets broken down, or clay blocks get broken down into clay balls. So this would be work with division. This would be sticks into fence posts, or yeah, sticks into fence, of course, is multiplication. And of course, everyone likes to play with their armor, so having the kids work on armor might be a great idea to help keep them motivated. Here, I don't know what I was doing here. These are, of course, the properties addition and multiplication properties. See, as you can see, I didn't even write anything in here. I built these stone pillars and then thought, I might wait to see what kind of ideas I can get from other people, because I'm kind of blanking out here. Alright, so if you have any ideas, post them to the comments. Over here, same thing. Equivalent expressions. Blank. Any ideas? Let me know. Moving on. Here we have, I'll give you a second to read this, but it's basically dealing with expressions and inequalities. So what we have is, which of these two pens, pen A or pen B, would satisfy the order that Farmer Carlin has for pigs? Is it the one with 4 pigs, or is it the one with 5 pigs? Interesting. Okay. Here about the planting. So I need you to plant some number of carrots that is less than 12. Well, I planted 9. Technically, that would make the inequality true. Okay. Oh, look at this happy band of really oddly named people. Yeah, these guys are helping me demonstrate. Yes, these miners are going to help me demonstrate real-world problems using expressions and variables. So here we have, if we're trying to gear these guys up, D equals 3A, where A represents the number of miners, and D, the cost to provide them with gear. Alright, excellent. So let's move on. Here, oh, I was actually kind of happy with this one. I thought this was kind of creative. This section actually covers 7 and 8. Sorry, 6EE, 7 and 8. And it is real-world problems and equations. I used the in-game hunger and food values for this. So, here's the question. So now you decide, well, which of these would you use to feed yourself? Interesting. Also, is a use of the game mechanic. Kids like to know this type of stuff. Alright, this section here we have. The thought here was to write equations with dependent and independent variables by using the recipes for the in-game items. Okay, so here we have some different examples of how to create things. Okay, kind of similar to one of the other sections I saw there, or I've created. This was basically finding, you know, a simple area for the moment. It's not very creative. It's not very stylish. It's great in its simplicity, but I'll definitely be working on that a little bit more. On to surface area. This was my original idea. Ooh, what's the surface area of this aquarium? I should put some squid in there or something. Oops. I'm not so sure that I want to use the aquarium idea. At the grade 6 level, I am thinking of using more of the housing and things like that. This seems a little bit too easy, I guess, whereas houses, they'll have doors and windows and gaps and stuff like that. I want them to be working with that. Anyway, here's another little idea. I can thank Elfie for this, kind of based off of one of his videos I watched. The students here will create a treasure map using landmarks in a randomly created map. So this isn't going to be preset for them or anything, just randomly created. They'll have a section, they have to create a landmark, or create a treasure map. They'll do this in groups, and I'll probably have them switch off so that each can test their treasure maps to see if they can find the treasure. And I do remind the students that there better be something in the treasure, because if we go through all that trouble finding this and there's nothing in it, terrible. Okay, this section here, yeah, this is the best I got, and I didn't even post anything in here. 3D nets, I mean, there's not a very wide range of shapes, I guess, of geometric shapes that we can use. So I have a cube and I have a double cube. That's about it. Anyway, moving on. Any ideas, let me know. Here we have statistics, and I'll let you read this quickly. Alright, so here's our scientists. Now here's our little village. I will definitely make this a much bigger village with maybe we'll combine this with the cabins, things like that. Try to combine different areas together to do certain different standards. Dr. Avon says, hello, I'm Dr. Avon. I examined 2 flowers in this neighborhood. Each planter has an equal number of flowers. I have to reword that question a little bit, but the idea is to understand the difference between biased, random, and representative questions. This is clearly biased, so okay. Anyway, we'll work on that. Moving over here, we have this was an attempt at a stem and leaf plot within MinecraftEdu. I think it turned out well. Now just have to figure out how to incorporate it into a map so that we can use it. Here we have a farmer. We have the judge. This guy's weighing these pigs. So we have the stem and the leaf for county fair pigs weight in pounds. Can you tell me which is the median? or which is the mode. All right, moving on. This was an interesting, just an interesting way to do the mean. Unfortunately, it only works if we have a small amount of blocks. So it's not incredibly flexible for teaching mean, median, and mode, but for the general idea of it, it's not so bad. So here you have 3 recorded numbers. So Rochelle has 4, Brody has 1, Amaya has 4. Well, the students can then break those down and then rebuild them so that they're evenly distributed like this, or they can break them down and put them all together and then decide how many go in each pile. And because they're small numbers, students should be able to build these, actually break them down and rebuild them without a problem. You can imagine if we had numbers like 96 and 27 and 43, that might be a little bit harder. But anyway, you've seen my graphs before. This is of course, just a bar graph. The focus in grade 6 is going to be to work with reading the graphs, processing information from it, and things like that. So in this section, we have an example of finding the mean. Oops, I'm sorry. We have the bar graph in other sections of the CCS lab, but in this case, we'll be looking at analyzing the data in different ways. Okay. Oops. Oh, I just broke that block. Terrible. Moving on. I'll have to replace that. Here we have, we're going to focus on displaying numerical data in number lines, which we've done in the past, line plots, which we've also done in the past, histograms, which we have right here, and of course a box plot, which I'm going to have to work on that one. Nothing here, no question yet. Okay, moving down to our last standard. We will be looking at different graphs and reporting observations, how it's measured, measures of center, mean, median, and mode, and choice of measures of center would be the focus. So yeah, I didn't put anything in here. So we may have a map where we just have multiple graphs and students are asked to go and answer some questions about this. So that's it for this one, for grade 6, the CCSS G6. Let's see, let's take a tally here. It looks like I was able to reach 25 of the 29 standards. So again, not too bad. If you want to help and possibly give me some ideas for the ones that I've missed, I'd be more than glad to add them in here. Well, thank you for visiting the lab again. I sure hope that some of this is useful or helpful to anybody. If you want to see more, let me know with a like, sub, or a comment. Thank you.